Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. I am Priya Venkatraman from Pun Vidyashram School. We have completed 2 chapters in biology. Now I am going to start a new lesson in chemistry. As usual, I am not going to tell the topic. Try to find it out. Okay, children? Yes. Categorize the things around you. At home, you have furnitures, utensils, toys, electronic device, and pencil box, ropes, tires, okay, copper wire and frying pan, everything you can see around you. Have you ever wondered how are they made up of? They are made up of plastics, alloys. Utensils are made up of alloys, okay. The plastic buckets and cups are made up of plastics, okay. Then insulated copper wire, the material is copper, that is a metal, and the insulation is made up of rubber. Furnitures are made up of wood, etc. Have a look in your wardrobe. You have jeans, t-shirt, sweater, etc. Have you ever thought about what your clothes are made up of? Now you got the topic which we are going to discuss about? Yes, it is synthetic fibers and plastics. We wear clothes made up of different types of fabrics. All fabrics are made from different types of fibers. What do you mean by fibers? A fiber is a strong and flexible thread-like material which is used to make the fabric. Fibers are also used to make several household items like ropes and nets. Okay, 5 types of fibers. There are 2 kinds of fibers, natural fibers and one more is synthetic fiber or artificial or man-made fibers, anything you can say. And one more category is also there, but it is not classified as a different session. Okay, the third one is semi-synthetic fiber. I will explain a little later. Clear? In your 6th standard, you have learnt about cotton, jute, everything. Okay, few fibers are obtained from the natural sources. What are the natural sources? Plants, animals, these are some natural sources. Fibers are obtained from the natural sources like plant, animals and even from insects are known as natural fibers. For example, cotton is obtained from the cotton plant. Jute is obtained from plant. So these are examples of plant fibers. Then what about wool? Wool is obtained from sheep. So it is an example of animal fiber. Silk. These things, everything you have learnt in your 6th and 7th standard. Then silk. Silk is obtained from cocoons of silkworm. So it is an example of animal fiber again. So now you got some idea about natural fibers. We know that fibers can be obtained both from plants and animals. Cotton fiber obtained from cotton plant. Jute fibers obtained from jute plants. Linen is obtained from stalks of flax plant. Are examples of plant fibers. Wool is obtained from sheep. Silk is obtained from cocoons of silkworms. Some examples of animal fibers. Clear? Then what do you mean by synthetic fiber? Fibers obtained here, in the previous case, the raw material is obtained either from plant or from animal. But in this case, that is in the case of synthetic fibers, fibers obtained through different chemical processes in the industries are known as man-made or synthetic fibers. Then how will you obtain the raw material to manufacture synthetic fibers? Synthetic fibers are prepared using raw materials of petroleum origin called petrochemicals. The raw materials will be obtained from petroleum. Sometimes coal and petroleum are known as, then they will be chemically synthesized, are known as synthetic fibers. For example, nylon, polyester, these are some examples of synthetic fibers. Clear? Then in this chapter, we will learn about the synthetic fibers, their characteristics and their uses. Our agenda is to learn everything in detail. Clear? Then I have mentioned one more also, semi-synthetic fibers. Listen, so why in the name itself the answer is there. It is semi-synthetic fiber. It is a semi-synthetic fiber. Listen, to manufacture the rayon is an example of semi-synthetic fiber. Why means the raw material which is used to manufacture rayon is obtained from the natural source and it will be chemically synthesized. If it is completely chemically synthesized, it is known as artificial fibers, and the raw material also will be obtained from either from coal or petroleum. It is artificial fiber. Here in the case of semi-synthetic fiber, the raw material is obtained from the natural source and it is chemically synthesized. So it is considered a semi-synthetic fiber. For example, rayon. Clear? Why do we need synthetic fibers? First, because natural fibers are more expensive. Artificial fibers or synthetic fibers are comparatively cheap. That is why we need synthetic fibers. Okay. Now you got some idea about natural fibers and synthetic fibers. Okay. How will you distinguish natural and synthetic fibers? Listen, natural fibers, they exist naturally. Otherwise, the raw material will be obtained from the natural source. Okay, but in the case of synthetic fiber, they do not exist naturally. Then the second point, natural fibers are environment friendly. Synthetic fibers, they are not environment friendly. During the process of production, some poisonous gas will be obtained. That is why synthetic fibers are not environment friendly. Natural fibers are expensive, synthetic fibers are cheap. Okay, then mostly used natural fibers are mostly used in clothing. Okay, to manufacture dress materials. But here synthetic fibers are used to make ropes, carpets, parachutes, like household items like ropes, carpets, parachutes, and even to manufacture clothes. So these are some differences between natural fibers and synthetic fibers. Take a necklace of beads and carefully observe it. You find that a large number of beads are joined together to form a necklace, isn't it? Take about 20 or 15 paper clips and join them together to make a long chain. In both the examples, a large number of beads or clips are joined together to form a long chain. So, beads or paper clips are smaller units which join together to form a large unit. Similarly, a synthetic fiber is also a chain of smaller units which are joined together. Each small unit is a chemical substance called monomer. Here, beads, you consider the beads or each single bead or single paper clip, you have to consider as a chemical substance called monomer. So, n number of monomers combine together to form a polymer. Clear? Many such smaller units or monomers join together to form a large single unit called a polymer. A monomer is a small molecule which can combine together in large number to form a larger unit is called polymer. A polymer is a very large unit formed by the combination of a large number of smaller molecules called monomers joined by chemical bonds. So, monomers are smaller molecules. N number of monomers combine together to form a polymer. So, polymer are large molecule. Clear? Polymerization is a process of joining together a large number of smaller molecules called monomer to form a very large number of a very large molecule, that is polymer. Is there any possibility that the natural fibers could be polymers? Yes, of course. Natural fibers are also polymers. Cotton fiber is a polymer made up of cellulose. It is made up of many glucose monomers. So, what is the monomer here? Glucose is the monomer. Monomer means small molecule. Polymer means large molecule. So, which one? Cellulose is the polymer, glucose is the monomer. From this you can conclude n number of glucose molecules combined together to form a polymer is known as cellulose. Let me repeat. Monomer is the small molecule, polymer is the larger molecule. N number of monomers, n number of smaller molecule combined together to form a large number of molecule called polymer. So here in the case of cotton, glucose is the monomer. N number of glucose molecules combine together to form cellulose. It is a cotton polymer. Cellulose is an example of polymer and glucose is an example of monomer. Clear? Similarly, in the case of nylon. Okay, nylon is prepared by the polymerization of amide molecule. From this you can conclude amide is the manufactured by amide molecule. So the monomer is amide. N number of monomer, that is n number of amide molecules combine together to form polyamide molecule, that is nylon. Clear? Nylon is the polymer and amide molecule, okay, is the monomer. So n number of amide monomer combine together to form a polymer nylon, otherwise polyamide. Clear? Many of the substances in living organisms are polymers. For example, cellulose is a polymer of glucose, while hemoglobin is formed by amino acids, the building blocks of all proteins. That is an example of polymers. Clear? Then, some polymers exhibit linear structure and some other exhibit cross-linking. Okay, now I am going to explain in detail. The polymers in which monomers are linked in a linear arrangement is known as linear polymers. Look at the picture. You will identify which one is linear polymer. Okay, the monomers are linked in a linear arrangement. In this picture also you can see the monomer is linked in a linear arrangement, is known as linear polymer. And the polymers in which monomers are cross-linked. Look at this picture. Okay, here the monomers are linked in a cross way, otherwise cross-linked to each other, are known as cross-linked polymers. Clear? Thank you. Our main agenda in this lesson is to discuss about or to learn more about the synthetic fibers and plastics. For example, nylon, rayon, polyester and acrylic. I have already said about, that is, the rayon is an example of semi-synthetic fiber. Doesn't matter. We have to discuss about these four synthetic fibers and even about plastics. Before entering into this chapter, I want to explain one small activity with different types of fibers. Okay, take two different types of natural fibers and two artificial fibers. Okay, what I am going to explain in this activity, synthetic fibers, they have high tensile strength. What do you mean by tensile strength? They can hold large weight without breaking, is known as the tensile strength. Let me repeat. They can hold large weight without breaking, is known as the tensile strength. Okay. Take cotton, silk, nylon, rayon threads. Okay. In the same length. For example, around 40 centimeter. Okay. Then you need a stand with a clamp and a pan and some marbles or bricks or some heavy objects. Okay. Take a cotton thread about 40 or 50 centimeter in length and tie its one end to the clamp and leave the other end suspended freely. At the free end of the cotton thread, suspend a pan so that the weight can be placed on it. You can attach a plate like structure or pan, anything, just to hold the weight or heavy object in it. Okay. Gently put marbles or bricks or the heavy particles one by one in the pan till the cotton thread breaks. Record the total number of marbles or bricks required to break the cotton thread. The total number of marbles required to break the cotton thread is the measure of its tensile strength. Repeat the activity with threads of wool, silk, nylon. Record the total number of marbles required to break the thread in each case. Okay, you observe that nylon thread holds maximum number of marbles or bricks, okay, before it breaks, followed by silk, cotton and wool. Okay, wool is least strong. The thread which holds the maximum number of marbles is the strongest. Listen, but you have to concentrate on only one thing. All the threads should be of the same length and almost same thickness. Okay. Conclusion, the tensile strength of nylon, it is a synthetic fiber, is more than that of silk, cotton and wool. From this we can conclude nylon has more tensile strength. Thank you.